All right, a few people asked me for interior. So there you go. Door skin in the front. These are just sheet steel. On the other side, there's like stickers that have all faded and come off. I flip these guys around. All four are nice and just black. What they have on them is essentially underlining or, stuff. This is the roof, the headliner. So like I said, it's nothing but kill mat. So I put some kill mat in there to calm it down and cool it out. And then it has undercoating all in here underneath it. We chased it all the way back underneath the headliner frames. If you want to put in a headliner, some guys, what they'll do is they'll take the bamboo mats. If you tuck them in underneath this on each side and they bend up against the roof, you can put a top in if you want. I would recommend that if you're doing a lot of desert running, simply because black on black on black, it gets hot. Next, floorboards. They have had rhino liner. They're dirty right now. I did not vacuum it out, but it is what it is. Seats, there you go. Rust free, rip free. There's a little bit of sun damage in the corners where you always get it. If we look at the front, look at that, a latch that works. All the spaces underneath, full pans were done. I will say this, I welded up heater channels. So there's no heater channels in here, and that's mainly because I eliminated the heaters in the rear. Okay, it has the pop-out rears. Coming back here, this is the rear luggage area. I replaced all the steel underneath this with a donor car steel out of a 1972. When I got it, there was just a big hole covered with roofing flashing. So I welded in a crossbar that goes left to right and then is braced down by the by where the luggage compartment is, just to make sure that there's a little bit of extra stability back here and to give a place for this board to sit. And then it's all clamped together and onto the frame so it doesn't rattle, it doesn't shake. These guys here, the 6x9s, unfortunately, they were cheap crunches that I got off of eBay. They have sun rotted and they're dead. My recommendation, tint this rear window, put something on there that kills UV. As you can see, it also ate up all the stickers. So this one I didn't clean because I didn't clean it. There's also this back firewall area that has it. It's pretty easy to just kind of sand it out of there. And then if you want to have a different look back there, you can. Engine. I just found out that the rear lights aren't working and the rear turn signal doesn't work on this one. I can also see that the wires are hanging down. I did test it here. I didn't see power. So there's something going on with the rear. The engine, somebody asked me what I would do to change it. There is an exhaust leak back here on this one, which is number 3. And so the problem with having the exhaust leak on number 3 is when you come off the throttle, it reads hyper lean and it cuts all the gas to the engine. And sometimes there's a stumble on slowdown. So I would fix that. I'm not a big fan of the bobtail because it doesn't seal. And you're running fuel injection, so your O2 sensor comes after that junction, so that's where it's pulling the fresh air in. So that's something to cure. Back here, I'm running an engine temp sensor that sits on the tin. So if you see a high temp reading, it has nothing to do with the temperature of the engine or the oil. It's only managing the temperature right here. And the reason why Eric Allred recommended that I do that, by the way, he's the one who put the sniper kit together and all the programming for the sniper. I also run a Pertronix Flamethrower 3. So this guy is set up with a 4500 cutoff, as is the EFI system. So when it reads 4500, everything is going to start cutting and shutting down banks of cylinders just to preserve things so you don't over rev. I would do some cable management back here. There is a small drip under each of the valve covers, and then the little mass of guys right here, those are from push rod number on the first cylinder exhaust. Okay, all the oil management goes back up here underneath this fender well, and there is a filter which you can kind of see poking down there, and then there's a 96 pass oil cooler above the transmission that has a 185 temperature switch on it. Tires are going to be, you're going to need new tires. There's some rust up on the roof. As I told the last guy, this is liner from I think it was just like Pet Boys or something, Hercules liner. All right, coming down here, all of these guys are welded on. Coming up to the front, there is a spot where it does rub when you hit hard on a turn. Sometimes this guy will rub. It also depends on how hard you're slamming through the turn and whether or not you're getting twist in the body. It does have a lowered front end in it, or an adjustable front end. It does need to be, or could be, raised up a little bit higher. I didn't go too much higher because what I was trying to do is preserve a ride look. But the front can come up, as can the back. In the front, here's the headlights. We're using LED. The outer, I guess, irises on the lights are the turn signals, and then you have the LEDs in front. This guy right here, the brush guard light, he is installed, but I don't believe it's connected to the high beams right now. The idea was to have this guy connected to the high beams, so when you needed to see on the trail, you could just flick those guys back and you could blind whatever was in front of you. Disc brakes, if you care, up front, drum in the back. Look, I don't know how much more I can go over this thing, but this is a Pioneer stereo. The head unit is inside. If you want to see back here behind the seat, there you go. Like I said, Polk audio. There's a sub. Everything's wired in back here. This is where all your engine management comes in from the back. There's the brace system I told you about. So it's welded in onto the pan, and it serves mainly to hold that back guy. If there's anything else you need to see, I don't know what it is. It rips.